Are you here today?
I just hear what other people have got to say.
Were you convinced of what you heard?
I was convinced before I got here.
That there's a conspiracy in the US government?
No, it's no conspiracy.
Oh, okay.
That there's people who've done bad things.
Rightio.
So, you think it was the government did bad things, or?
Is that what you believe?
I don't know who did it, but I know it wasn't a plane that brought it down.
It wasn't a plane?
No.
Why not?
Because I watched it for 2 days. The day it happened, I didn't turn the TV off for 2 days.
Yeah.
I remember the reports where people heard explosions. I heard explosions. It defies the laws of physics.
Is this the planes going into the buildings or the Pentagon are you talking about?
The Twin Towers.
Ah, right.
They reported the third tower fell before it fell.
Yes.
It was like they were reading from a script. So
Building 7.
And Building 7, yeah, the third tower.
You guys know much about Building 7?
Yeah, know a fair bit about it.
But like, you say you heard the explosions. Like, did you see different footage to what's on YouTube? Because these explosions aren't really.
No, I heard it on the news the day that the thing happened. So you could hear explosions.
And so none of these videos are available anywhere else?
Well, YouTube, I don't know who owns YouTube and who backs it, but whoever does, it's quite known.
YouTube's not Google owned, I believe.
Well, whoever owns it, and who owns Google, and who owns that person. Whoever did it,
investors, I think.
Whoever did it, takes down that footage.
So these explosions you heard, you think they were big enough to cut through the steel columns that were holding the towers up?
Heat.
All right, but they didn't break any windows?
Yeah, they did. Windows
one or two windows blew out as the building was collapsing.
I've done my research. I don't really need to justify.
Have you really done research? I mean, where have you done? But where at? I mean, what sort of research have you been doing? Have you been going to primary sources, or you just been reading conspiracy websites?
No, I haven't been reading conspiracy websites. I've looked at the facts. The facts of the footage that I saw on the day when it was reported that Tower 7 fell before it did.
Okay. Well, I mean, the fire brigade had been saying all afternoon that that building was going to fall down, based on the way it was. Because they're firefighters, and it's not against the laws of physics.
When in history has a building fell down through fire?
Oh, a few times.
When?
Well, that's why they put fireproofing on.
Okay, but when? Don't give me another question. When has a building ever fell down through fire, like the Twin Towers?
Well, whenever has a building been hit by a jetliner, the way that the World Towers were? I mean,
they have hit them, and they've done computer modelling as well.
But there's several thousand gallons
me another question to answer my question.
I'm not asking you a question.
When in history has a building ever collapsed, like the Twin Towers and the third tower, through fire?
Well, just because it hasn't happened before doesn't mean it can't happen.
Oh, okay, so that justifies that it's...
Some things happen for the first time when a 777...
But if you don't believe that the planes went into the building...
I believe the plane went into the building. I saw it on TV.
And you don't think it caused enough damage to make it fall down, though?
No.
Well, what do you base that on?
Understanding of the laws of physics.
Well, I think you should probably revise your understanding of the laws of physics.
I'm not the one who's asking me questions. I'm quite confident in what I believe. So.
But you know you disagree with engineers all over the world.
Yeah, but I know I disagree with many engineers. I probably disagree with a lot of priests as well. I don't care who I disagree with. I have to feel confident in what I believe.
Okay, thanks for that. Okay.
Were you convinced of what you saw and what was said?
I've already been convinced from research over many years from different sources. I mainly just came today because I'd like to see more people get involved and provide support. I've already actually seen that gentleman's DVD of his original presentation a long time ago.
Oh, who was speaking in there this morning?
I actually don't know his name.
Richard Gage.
What was his name?
Richard Gage, was it, or
was it Stephen Jones? Or?
No, he hasn't spoken yet. Stephen Jones, the first guy.
The architect, Richard Gage, was it?
Yeah, I'm not sure of his name. I don't know, but I know exactly who he is. He's done a presentation in. I think he's a lecturer from a university of somewhere it's where he originally started.
So you're generous believing, one theory that we heard of is that that plane didn't actually go into the Pentagon.
Into the Pentagon is quite different. Like once again, it's not so much.
Do you believe there was a plane though?
I don't, well, I surmise that there wasn't, just because those images of planes striking the World Trade Center have been replayed 1,000 times,
yes,
but they've never ever shown the plane hitting the Pentagon more than like 3 frames of a kind of flame. And if they're happy to keep showing one, why not show the other one when there's like a multitude of cameras from service stations and everything that would have captured the impact?
Sure.
Do you think they would?
But taking that into account,
I think they would have, as for the reason I just stated, mate. Like, they're happy to show one series happening repeatedly, so that would make completely no sense to say, oh, why would they show?
But they weren't all like news cameras all around the Pentagon.
No, as I just said, they were seized by things like petrol stations and surveillance.
Yeah, but the petrol station security camera is going to be pointed at the petrol bowsers. It's not going to be shooting
that's actually
the building 100 yards away.
I'm answering your question.
Yeah.
I think you'll find that the tapes were actually seized and they've released a statement saying we have captured the video evidence, but it's now classified.
Okay, so one more thing, taking all that into account.
And from the Pentagon itself, obviously won't be pointing at the petrol bowser, it's pointing at itself. So there's definitely one.
They don't really want to release the Pentagon's own camera footage, because that'd just be insane. You don't release a very secure building's own camera images.
Sure, well they have released some frames of it, of just a flame going like that. So would releasing a few seconds earlier of a bang undermine their whole surveillance security? It seems like it already has been by the alleged plane hitting it. So
do you believe now? Okay, if you believe in that,
I don't really know the Pentagon. That's a major concept.
So do you query what happened?
I query that relevance.
Sure. But do you go as far as what happened to the people on that plane that was suspected?
Yeah, I think it's another one of those things that you query that we just don't know.
We don't know what happened to the people.
We don't know the answers. That's what we're trying to find. Anybody that says they know exactly, down to the finest detail of all this thing, obviously is privy to a lot more information than everybody else is. And I'd like to see them, just tell us. But that's the point. There's just so many unknowns. That's the most worrying thing, is that you actually don't know.
What area are you coming from?
Oh, we're
allegedly just making a home movie,
making a home movie, kind of, basically. Trying to find out why people believe this stuff.
Maybe name or whatever.
What do you think about Building 7?
You can tell me what.
Well, I think the Building 7 was on fire for a long time, and the fire, more than 3 hours. It was on fire from the time the towers fell until about 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
And do you think it was a controlled demolition?
No, I don't think it was a controlled demolition.
Do you think the fires brought down the building in free-fall speed?
No, I don't. Because most of the clips you'll see of Building 7, they don't show the total collapse. They ignore the collapse of the East Mechanical penthouse when that fell down through the building about 10 or 8 seconds before the outside facade fell down,
so what do you
which indicates that the internal structure of the building was severely compromised, and there was nothing much holding it up, just a few exterior columns which eventually snapped under the excess load that they weren't used to carrying. It was an unconventional design. It had a cantilever floor and long span support columns which were there because it was built over the top of a substation.
What do you think that the mainstream media won't show Building 7, that a lot of people don't know about Building 7?
Well, because it's, in the overall scheme of things, it's not as important as the Twin Towers, because there was nobody inside it, and it happened 5 o'clock in the afternoon. No plane hit it. No, it was hit by debris from the falling towers across the road from it.
And how about the other debris that hit the other buildings? How come they didn't go down?
Well, a lot of buildings fell down there. Well, trade centres 3, 4, 5 and 7.
They fell like 7, did they? They collapsed in free fall.
Well, they collapsed because of... Well, 7 didn't fall into a pile of dust. You can see the pictures of the wreckage all over the street.
This year's been a better year.
Can you explain how they pancake?
We're having a pancake.
Well, why should they?
Because it's a law of physics.
No, it isn't.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, no worries.
He's just asking questions about
Asking questions. Hi. Do you mind?